Interesting and rather useful example of a function that decreases represents the decrease in the battery level of my phone over a period of time. Any linear function can be expressed using this form, y equals mx plus b. You can write this in different ways. For example, this textbook replaces y with f of x. However, they mean the same thing. And m can be replaced by any other letter of the alphabet so long as it represents the rate of change. So for the purpose of this function, x is going to be the number of hours that pass, y is going to be the percentage of battery, b is going to be the y-intercept, which is 100% because my phone starts off with 100% battery when no time has passed, and m is going to be the rate of change. My phone loses 8% of its battery per hour, so the rate of change is going to be -8. Here's our function. F of x equals -8x plus 100. Here's the graph of this function. So you see the y-axis, when no time has passed, y equals 100 because it has 100% battery. And when 12.5 hours have passed, y equals 0 because the battery's all gone. My checkpoint is 560, and this means that after 5 hours, my phone will have 60% of its battery, meaning that it's lost 40%. And here's an example of how to use this function. So if I want to see how much time has passed, how much of my battery I've lost after 3 hours, if y started at 100%, I would plug 3 into the equation. So f of 3 is -8 times 3 plus 100. -8 times 3 is -24, and 100 minus 24 is 76. So after 3 hours, I would have 76% battery, meaning I've lost 24%. So this brings up an interesting thing about this equation. So the m of x part of the equation, represented by -8x here, actually function, sorry, that's going to represent how much battery has been lost. The 100% represents how much battery I had to begin with. So I could change this equation up a little bit if I wanted to. If I wanted to see how much battery I'd have left after let's say 3 hours. But if I had 50% to begin with, then I would have -24 plus 50, and that would mean that I would be left with 26% battery, because I only started off with 50%. Or if I even just wanted to find out how much battery I'd lose, then I would just take out the y-intercept altogether and just have -8 times 3, and I would just find that I would lose 24%. Okay, the domain of this function is going to be -infinity, infinity, exclusive, and the range is going to be -infinity, infinity, exclusive as well, because for every value of x, there's going to be one y value for forever. But for practical purposes, the domain is going to be 0 to 12.5 inclusive, and the range is going to be 100 to 0 inclusive, because like in the real world, we don't have negative time, and there is nothing beyond 100% when you're talking about the battery of a phone.